The last 2 days I have failed to make the video I was hoping to make this week. I'm trying to do the cheap Sheleeart Bloom techniques that I have done in the past, and it just isn't working. And while I was doing this, I realized, you know what? You guys are having the same problems. You guys have seen a technique done online, have written down the recipe, have followed it exactly, and didn't get the same results as the person on the video, and you don't understand why. And what I want to do is show you how I learn how to do different techniques, some of the little things that I do that I think will make your learning much more productive and hopefully make you enjoy the learning process and get to those beautiful paintings so much quicker. Okay, like I mentioned, I was trying to do the Sheleeart Bloom technique and I have been failing. I want to make some of these for my wife, and I want to also start using some of the mica powders that I had. These are the two that I'm trying today, but it's just from this mica powder kit. And do it with my cheap Blooms technique recipe, which is the white glue, water, paint, and then using the ColorPlace cheap white satin base. But it wasn't working. And the first thing that I did is I had to mix up all my paints. And one thing I think a lot of people skip is the testing. Don't just mix up your paints and pour. Mix up your paints and do some very small tests to make sure you have the paint the consistency that you want. In this case, because I'm doing the Sheleeart technique, I want to make sure that my cell activator, my white in this case, is actually creating cells with my colors. So what do? I create lots of little, these are finger-sized puddles of my paint, and I test. I started with black, put it down, blew it out with my cell activator. There's no pillow paint or anything here. This is just the interaction between my colors and my cell activator. And I didn't like exactly how that was looking, so I thickened up my black. I definitely didn't like how that worked. So then I thinned the black a little bit more and I thinned the white a little bit more. And now I got the results I was looking for here. And then I moved on to my magenta. And as you can see, I was having a lot of trouble with the magenta just because I have lots of different versions of that test. But I finally ended up getting here, which is about what I was hoping for. Then I moved on to green and gold. And then I started mixing my colors. I started with black underneath yesterday, and then the magenta, and the black was taking over. So then I tried magenta with a little bit of black, and I really liked how that color combination worked. And then I moved on to add additional colors. Now, overall, this took me 15, 20 minutes, and I might have used 10 grams of paint and medium total, maybe a little bit more. But again, I took 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes, a couple of simple tests, and this is going to give me a better idea of how my tiles are going to turn out. And ultimately, I'm going to get a better result because I did all of this testing in very micro fashion rather than going immediately to my tiles. Another thing that I always do is I keep notes. When I'm doing my pours, I know you probably can't read anything there because my handwriting is so bad, but I can read it. That's my secret code. That way I understand what I did. So if, let's say I do testing, for example, today, I just did these two. I was testing opaque paints and transparent paints and how to layer them, and I did not get the results I was looking for. I don't think these paints are made up in the correct way to get the results that I want. But because I started out with these small items and then started out at the bigger items, now I know some of the things that I want to change to make that work better. I know sometimes based on what you see on YouTube and Instagram is just the beautiful parts, but there's so much work that gets done in between for testing. You really need to embrace that testing, get a process that you do every time you do any painting. I recommend mixing those paints in very small quantities to make sure you're not going to get mud, to make sure you're getting the color combinations that you want, that they look good together. Just little steps like that will make your life so much easier when you finally get to the big pours that you're looking for. Now on this channel, I try and make acrylic pouring simple by breaking it down into small steps that anyone can do, because I think anyone can be successful with acrylic paint pouring. And if that's the type of information you're looking for, please like and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you'll get notified when my future videos comes out. And if you want to learn more about this technique that I was working on here, I will link a video right here.